I'm not saying that traditional painting contractors and our way of life is completely dead, but I am going to tell you that it's on life support. I'm Brandon Lewis, Director of the Marketing Department at the Academy for Professional Painting Contractors, and I want to share with you what I have recently discovered in phone conversations with hundreds of painting contractors and in just observing our larger environment as it relates to painting. And I think that you're going to notice when I bring some of these things up just how true they are. First, in my conversations with painting contractors, here's what I discovered. 3 real big things. Number 1 is small painting contractors, most of them, are scraping by. Most small painting contractors have ups and downs financially. Their life does not at all look like what they promised themselves when they went into business, does not look like what they wanted when they thought that they would support their families with this business. Large painting contractors, many of whom have big sales numbers, top-line sales, have take-home pay that is just not at all commensurate with all the risk, all the headache, both financially, legally, all the red tape that they're entangled in. The profit margins are not looking like they need to. And then finally, I want to talk to you about this sad fact that almost all of the painting contractors I talk with, when I say, well, what are you going to do for retirement? What are you going to do when you exit this industry? They all tell me that they have very little hope that they can sell their painting business for what it's worth. That they picture that one day they're going to roll their equipment out on the side of a sidewalk, have a rummage sale, and that's going to be the sum total of their equity for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the painting industry. So that's on one side. Let's look at our macro environment, the big picture, and why I say that we are looking at the death of the traditional painting contractor. Well, number 1 is everyone and their brother is trying to get between us and our customers. Thumbtack, Facebook, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Porch. They're all, as savvy marketers, trying to put themselves right in the middle with the customer on one side, with us on the other, and with them playing traffic cop. And what they want to do is to dig into your marketing budget, dig into your personal revenue. And there are tons of people that are getting in on this. And so cost of lead is going up. It's getting incredibly tough to find a customer who will buy your services. Second big thing, everyone is turning to online lead generation. Well, that's great, except for every year or so, some big, huge player who's suckered a lot of painting contractors into online-only marketing ends up changing the rules. Think about all the Google slaps. People spend years and years working on the perfect SEO only to have Google completely change the rules. You went from the first page to the second page and now you're no man's land. Think about Facebook. Facebook decided one day on a whim that instead of your messages going to 100% of your followers, now it's going to go to about 15%. And they put you in this new pay-for-play world. You see, we have got to find a way to attach ourselves to our customers. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Second thing, just casual observation in our industry. Number 1, we have fewer magazines servicing our industry, fewer publications than in our history. That list keeps getting smaller and smaller. Second thing, our associations are not doing as well as we'd like them to. Not only are we discovering that as a whole, the people who service our industry in those 2 capacities are not as frequent or as abundant or in as many numbers as they used to in membership and circulation. We're also discovering that our painting manufacturers are not diversifying, but rather they're consolidating. So our industry is facing a lot of challenges, and other ones are the fact that labor is going up, material is going up, people are not going into the trades anymore as a profession. It's harder and harder to find folks that will work, and customer demands for and expectations for quality are rising and rising and rising while the labor pool is diminishing, and material costs and everything else are rising. So if you think that you can continue to run your business in the same traditional manner that you've always ran it, and that next year's income will be bigger and better than last year's income, and that you can eventually sell your painting business to someone who wants to get into this industry for top dollar, I'm here to say that maybe you're kidding yourself. So, what do you do about it? That's why you're here, right? Well, I want to tell you a little bit about how I was personally able to take my painting business from flat, broke, and struggling in the Great Recession to over $1 million in repaint sales, and then sell it for $440,000 in a really struggling economy still, in a mid-sized market with no prior painting experience. And I did it in about 5 years, a little under. You can do this too, and I can tell you how I've helped hundreds of other painting contractors use a simple, straightforward system to accomplish the same goals and put themselves on the path to being able to sell their business for top dollar one day. If you will look on this screen, we have a very special offer for you. And inside this educational offer, you get a free CD, you get a free report, and a free video training series that describes exactly how we do this, very simply and in a straightforward fashion. It's a wealth of information that you really can't afford to miss if you don't want to continue down the doom loop that our industry and many of our painting contractors, large and small, seem to be going down. Here's what you'll discover when you request this report and what our real big push is. The first thing is we're going to teach you how to cut through the clutter that's in the marketplace and to bond yourself to your existing customers so that they won't use other painting contractors, and so that you won't have to be shelling out tons of money to intermediaries like Facebook and Angie's List and Home Advisor and Thumbtack and God knows what they'll come up with next to try to put a middleman between you and your customers. And we're going to teach you how to use that process to create a cash surge in the first 30 days so that you can immediately get a good ROI into your painting business, so that you can begin to change some things so that you won't be stuck in this traditional role that is not working for most painting contractors. The second thing we're going to teach you how to do is how to effectively sell. Now, you probably have this problem where you are constantly competing on price and losing to Chuck in a truck. You're constantly losing to these people who probably don't have insurance, do poor quality work, maybe even have labor that's unethical, and they're moving into your markets constantly in droves. In addition to the people moving into your markets, you're also having people that are starting new businesses who are doing it a new and different and maybe better way, and they're pushing on the traditional ways that you've done business in the past. You see, you used to be able to just hang out a shingle, and word of mouth would carry you to a very nice income. That is not the case anymore. That is not the case. Third thing we're going to teach you how to do is even out the feast and famine cycles that are in your painting business. Right now you probably have months that are huge, months that are low, months that are busy, months that are slow, and in the winter you probably struggle mightily. And we're going to teach you how to get rid of all that as much as we can in the painting business and to make things higher and even. That's what we're going to go after. Fourth thing we're going to teach you is how to really turbocharge your word-of-mouth marketing. There are tons of referral sources out there, people that have huge lists, people that have lots of relationships who see more residential and commercial customers in a few weeks than you probably see all month, and we're not tapping into those relationships, and we can let them use their marketing dollars while we leverage that relationship to help both the referral source and the customer in a very ethical, honest way that benefits both. And then finally, we're going to talk about how you can go after large commercial repaint clients in your local area. If you do not have a large mix of commercial repaints in your service mix, you're missing out on a world of opportunity. You cannot get rich painting grandma's bedroom. You cannot get rich going out to stain a small tiny deck. It's lots of hassle, lots of overhead, lots of starting, lots of stopping, and you never get a check that's big enough, or so it seems, to amount to anything. So in conclusion, you're going to also hear from lots and lots of painting contractor scores that have used this system. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to their words, listen to what they've said, the videos, the testimonials of folks that have used this same process to really succeed in their business. So you've got two choices. You can look around and you can see that our traditional way of running a painting business is dead and dying. you can see that new upstarts who are a little bit technologically savvy are overtaking established companies. You can see that all of the bellwethers of, as our industry headed in the right direction, seem to be pointing to the contrary. So you've got two choices. You can get out of this business and go grab a job at Home Depot, or you can say, you know what, there's still plenty of money to be made in this industry, and there is, and I'm going to go get it. It may require learning a handful of things, but I'm going to go get it, and I'm going to make sure that I set myself up for success so that I can provide for my family and my future. So I'm Brandon Lewis, Director of the Marketing Department at the Academy for Professional Painting Contractors, and I do hope before you leave this page that you will request this transformative report, CD, and video training series. I look forward to talking to you very soon. Thanks.